Hey, folks, welcome in. It is the Coaches Show. It is October the 9th, 2024. I'm your host, as always, David Wood. And joining me, as always, the head coach and athletic director for your Toller Rattlers, Coach Blake Mauser. Coach, let's try this one more time. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
I'll tell you, I am jonesing for some Rattler football. I don't know about you, Coach, but I don't too much canter for these bye weeks. But I know that they're a necessity, and at times they're a blessing. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But before we do that, we got to talk about 2 weeks ago because your team took on uh, Breckenridge over in Breckenridge, and I learned how to jerry rig a camera out of a window with
Hmm.
electrical tape. I don't know if your coaches told you or not, but I'm a magician.
No, that I didn't find out, but that doesn't surprise me. There's nothing that can stop you from showing our great fans some Rattler football. So they're fortunate to have you, the magician, ready to got rock and roll. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
right. We got her done, and of course, uh, uh, more importantly, the Rattlers get a 42-6 victory over the Buckaroos of Breckenridge. I tell you what, kind of a neat place, except for the sun is right in your face on that visitor side. I think they built that purposely that way. Very smart on their behalf. But I tell you what, the Rattlers win on all three phases of the game, and more importantly, improve their district non-district record to 4-1 on the season with a four-game win streak. Got to make you feel good.
Yeah, no. Anytime you win a game, it's great. And like I told the guys, it's another just it was a really cool stadium to go play. Kind of an old history. I didn't know if you knew. The head coach played at Breckenridge, so he's kind of giving me some of the history. But he said so the visitor stands that we were on, those were put in. Those were extended in 1929 when TCU and Hardin Simmons played each other in a non-district or non-conference college game. So those bleachers been a while over there, but and that used to be the home side. I guess they flipped it when they expanded. Who knows and all that. But again, Breckenridge, yeah, they might not have won a state title since the '50s, but at the same time, you still have to honor their. It's a blue blood kind of program in the state of Texas where you look through the all time wins. You go, Katie's and the Highland Parks, and if you keep going in the top 20 or so, top 10 or so, there's Breckenridge. So I knew it would be a cool atmosphere, cool place that they care and all that. And our kids showed up, and it was a great evening.
Yeah, I tell you, the school reminds me of Army barracks, and the uh, the surrounding reminded me. I thought we were in the Big East for a moment there. You know how they have the buildings right there on top of the stadium. Really, really nice atmosphere, and more importantly, it was a nice atmosphere on the football field because again, we dominate all three levels. And defensively, coach, you can't have much of any gripes at all because they dominated from Jump Street.
Yeah, no, I mean, anytime there's only 6 points given up on a game, that's obviously very impressive. And even then, I think our defense coaches would be, we could have prevented that one too. But what I'm super proud of, and what I told the kids, and what we're learning as a team, and as we're growing, is yeah, we didn't have a great play, and they scored, and immediately what did we do? We bowed our neck, we blocked a PAT, and that's stuff that great teams do, and those little things, able to pick yourselves up and just play the next play. And not just that, I know we talked a little bit kind of with the technological stuff. But it wasn't just that. The very next play after the block PAT was a huge return. Then there was a big, good first offensive play. So learning how to stop momentum and gain momentum and keep it was a massive, massive part of it. Of the game, and you talk about defensive scoring the touchdown too. So really, they tied for the most part. Anytime your defense can tie the other team in terms of points output, that's a great night for the Rattlers.
Absolutely, coach. You touched on it. They only scored on a 50-yard pass play, which was kind of a broken down assignment. But that one little mistake rescinded with the blocked PAT. Y'all never trailed. Y'all led the game 7-6 at that point. The big return, a great offensive drive, and jumping back on them, like you say, kept momentum and going on. And you touched on it. I'm talking about Caden Abrego's heads up play. That shows you awareness. And from a young player's perspective, that's really hard to master at this level. Man, touch on it, how great of a play that was on his behalf, knowing that that pass was behind the quarterback and that was a live ball. He's able to get on it and score the defensive touchdown. That's got to really make you feel good.
Yeah, no, it shows how coachable he is because that's something that our defense coaches reiterated all week long that they're going to throw the flares, they're going to throw those swing passes. They have a tendency for them to be backwards, so those are laterals, and a chance so that if there was, if they dropped it, no matter what, anytime there's a pass thrown sideways, go get on the ball. And if of course Caden was the beneficiary of being on the ball, and he did a great job of getting onto it, and super proud of him. But it's not just him. You watch these other kids who are swarming that football, and where there's 6 or 7 guys in view holding their hands up, telling them and celebrating a touchdown. That's what we talk about. Don't let the officials say it's not a touchdown. We go and celebrate no matter what, like it was. And there's a lot to that where it could sway. Who knows? And super proud of the way our kids are celebrated that touchdown and understood the importance of getting on the football now.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you what, it just goes kudos to the defense all night long. Not just that play, but all night long. They've just really, really. I believe that the system has really started to really, really nurture in them, and this defense is going to be something special to watch through district play. Which, by the way, starts this week, and it's going to be a special week. It's homecoming. Lots of stuff going on. But before we get into this week's game, I got to touch on a little bit of the bye week because you had some things going on. There was an event called Heels and Helmets. Tell us about that, Coach, because I just learned about it through social media. That was cool. That was a cool event, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, one thing I was very fortunate to work for one of the best, a huge mentor and Coach Drew Sanders at Vanderbilt High School. And one thing that I learned from him and was the importance of including parents involved in the program and including getting, and having things that for families to be involved. A lot of times coaches talk about programs with family, but what actually are you being intentional about and actually getting people to develop and nurture relationships. Even though we're in a small community and everybody kind of knows each other, there could be that one relationship that could grow from events like Helmets and Heels and show a different side of our guys. On top of that, it's just a special night for it's a varsity only. There's a lot of times where people are like, why don't you do a junior high JV? Well, because varsity means something. It means to be in a program. It means something to be a senior year. Something needs to be special about that, and something to build upon. And so that's kind of where the thinking on that. However, it's no, it's as I tell the kids all the time, one thing is showing gratitude to one another, and what better person for you to show gratitude is your mom, the one who gave you life, And so if you can't publicly come up and they say how much you love her and how much that means to you, and whether it's a mom, whether it's aunt, grandma, the mother figure in your life, and at the same time, moms they can go on forever about their son, and rightfully so, and how proud they are. And so I gave him a little time limit on that. We didn't want any Oscar speeches, but at the same time, it's just a great event. And like I said, I learned those type of events to do those, and we use those at Vandergriff, and I wanted to bring them here because it actually is some of the highlights, and every parent there talked about how one's most important. So we did the senior son camp out before the season with the dads and the seniors, which will continue. Then next, not homecoming week, the following week though, we'll have our dads night on the varsity where we're going to invite the or men of influence night dads, or each varsity player gets to invite a male influence into the locker room to kind of see how it is pregame, let guys kind of relive some high school. Coach dads like to talk about how much their glory days. Well, now you get to relive it a little bit by coming into the locker room. So events like that just brings people together, and it makes more of it. It's not the team separate from the community. We're all part of one huge program, one big family.
Absolutely, and boy, I tell you what, that really was cool. I like the fact that that you did that, Coach. It was really really something else. Uh, Toller Memorial Scholarship Fund also had an event on the 5th, which is a national holiday. That was my birthday. I turned a big 6-0, Coach. Big 6-0.
Happy,
I'm just a youngster, just a baby.
yeah.
Uh, and that Memorial Scholarship Fund, from the reports, I didn't get to go. I had some work and some family requirements, and had to do that. But I heard from all indications it was great. It was at the LC Ranch, and they had live music, brisket, and a whole lot of fun. They had some auctions to help raise some money. I heard that they did pretty well, and that's stuff you need to have. And again, like you said, it helps the community, brings the community along, and it also helps the school district earn some money for some deserving students.
Yeah, I mean, any time this community is very special and that they take care of their kids here, and from kindergarten up to the elementary PTO to our booster club to anything in between with the TEF and the grants that they've given to teachers. That it's I don't want to get into too much of that, but everybody kind of reads that school funding isn't where it probably needs to be or should be, and so all this stuff through the community really helps out teachers, and then really what it helps out is students, and that's why we're on this game and where that money's trying to get to, whether it's funneled through teachers to grants or whatever, but through the scholarships and letting whether it's trade schools or colleges, wherever kids need to get to them, and that's a huge boost for any kid right then and there because colleges, any school is not cheap nowadays, so that's a huge plus, and it just shows again how much and before that's it wants to succeed. So it's awesome to see.
Most definitely, most definitely. Okay, bye week is also a great time to get players some rest, some recovery from some little nagging nicks and bruises and that sort of thing. It also allows them to gain some focus. And if I know Coach Mauser, like I think I know Coach Mauser, he's also got a few little hidden gems that he kind of starts tweaking up to start surprising some people with some things during the district season and getting it ready into the playoffs. Uh, how is the team health wise and mentality wise? And are we ready for Friday night?
Yeah, dude. So I let all you'll hear me this future years and all this. I always call the bye week improvement week, and so we still practice. It wasn't as basically we had a theme of the day, offense and defense type stuff. Like where we gonna get better. One thing I haven't been offensive. I've been a little disappointed with, and so this kids is our ball security has been great the past few games. We put the ball on the turf a little bit, so we had a ball security circuit, and we made sure our guys remember the points, elbow, I mean hand wrist above elbow, 3 points, all the different things that anybody's ever heard, but at the same time, just emphasizing. And I've learned a long time ago, you get out what you emphasize. So hopefully, our ball security improves over the three district through playoffs because those plays have become huge. Defensively, they worked on a few different looks we might see in different offices that we'll see during the district play. So it's a good chance to get it on film and start getting some introduction stuff before we start getting to the game plan and gritty on that one. In terms of our team,
Absolutely.
we were able to rest up a little bit. We didn't practice Monday, Friday, so it was a 3 day practice week. And let kids have off the weekend, and that's good to get into their legs underneath them. So hopefully, we see a fresh team and a little healthier team this upcoming week and through district.
I tell you what, I want to touch on this. We touched on it when we tried to do the broadcast earlier, and we had to reset. Um, Britton Rice, your little sophomore quarterback, man, I tell you what, I had him unofficially 12 of 17 for 139 and a touchdown. That sounds about right, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have my stats in front of me, but no, he's very accurate. So that's been great so far.
Owens had 4 receptions for 49 yards to lead all receivers in total catches, but there were 7 different receivers, Coach, and that really stands out to me when a high school sophomore quarterback can connect on 7 different receivers. It allows a lot of stuff for the offense and a lot of success for the offense because it gives the offensive line a lot of confidence in what they're doing on pass protect. And then on running the football, it makes running the football a lot easier when you can open up that passing game. Brown had 3 touchdowns, 24 carries, 129 on yardage, and a reception for 40. Of course, he's always been a big part of the offensive game plan for the last couple of years here. And it just seems to me like he's just beginning to start getting his momentum back up to that sophomore level that he had a couple of years ago.
Yeah, part of it, and he's a tough kid. If you went back and rewatched the play against Peaster where he rolled his ankle again, there's been some kids who didn't come back and play. So the fact that and one thing I want to give Peyton a ton of credit. He's continuously doing what he needs to do in terms of with our trainer Breezy, and he's constantly getting treatment and in a good way. Like it's not one of those things where he's doing what he's supposed to, and then come in and get treatment and make sure and keeping that ankle healthy. And you're right, it's definitely shown, and he's got a little burst to himself. And then one thing too is we probably run a little bit more tight zone than maybe in years past. Our gap schemes, he's always more read the gap scheme stuff because whether it was GT or just a regular guard on a kick type play. Last year, those were comfortable to him, but in terms of reading tight zones, a little bit different. He's starting to see those cuts a little bit easier, and you can see the growth in that regard. In terms of in the wealth, yeah, no, that's as a play caller and somebody that I love Brendan Wealth, and I love Brendan the fact that, again, I go back to it. He's a point guard, just like he is on the basketball. And if you got guys that can shoot, shooters want to shoot. I think our kids, same thing. Receivers want to catch passes, running backs want to carry the ball. So it's good to get the ball in their hands, keep them active in the schemes. At the same time, it presents multiple different looks for the defenses have to be prepared for. They can't just key and double team one guy. They have to, we got to defend all phases of the field, whether it's horizontally or vertically. So super proud of Burton and his development and how he's understanding the offense already at a young age and just new to starting role.
I tell you what, it's very impressive to me that a kid of his age is able to just come in and be such a positive factor on this offense, and he gets a lot of kudos from me on that aspect. It's just real hard as a young player to do something like that. Okay, so we've covered the last game, we've covered last week's bye week and what all that meant to us and everything. I'm going to take a little bit of a break so I can give a couple of sponsors a little bit of love. When we come back, we're going to talk about the early Longhorns. And there's a lot of tradition there, Coach. We'll talk to you on that when we come back right after this on the Coaches Show.
Peak Performance Equine Hospital is a full-service primary care and referral hospital located in Granbury, Texas. They provide specialized surgical, medical, and reproductive services. Peak Performance veterinarians include our board-certified surgeon, are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit Peak Performance Equine Hospital on the web at peakperformanceequinehospital.com or call 817-579-0287. The best care for your best friend and proud Rattler supporter.
At Flippin' Floors, you will discover superior installations and name brands available at competitive prices. Our expert team ensures quality craftsmanship and attention to detail, while our comprehensive selection caters to your style, design, and budget. Experience excellent service, delivery, and customer satisfaction with over 20 years of experience combined under one roof. Contact Chase, Flippin, or his staff members at 817-832-5209. That is Flippin' Floors, delivering exceptional results you can rely on. Flippin' Floors. Proud Rattler supporter.
Yes, sir. I want to thank Flippin' Floors for being an active sponsor in the community on all areas of Toller athletics and ISD, and also Peak Performance. And tell you what, we had a Peak Performance a couple of weeks ago when the Rattlers improved to 4-1 on the season and gets that fourth straight victory, getting ready for district play. Of course, we are 3A, Division II, and in the toughest region in all of 3A. Boy, that worked out real good for us. That's Region 2, which, if you ask me, that's got the most top 10 teams in any region in 3A Division 2. But I wouldn't want to have it any other way. We got to go the rough way, Coach. And it's all going to start this Friday night. It is homecoming, a big night. I'll touch on some of the things that are going on for homecoming here in a little bit. But Coach, I got a couple of things here for you. Number one, this is the 9th straight year in a row that these two teams will meet. And it has been a little bit of, it's been a lot of fun, actually, playing early. They're a class act. They've got some really good things going on about them. But when these two teams hit the field, they go at it with one another. And I believe Toller leads the series 5-3 and fixing to be 6-3 this Friday night as we take them onto the house. Now, they've as you guys been on a winning streak, they've been on a bit of a losing streak. They won their first game against Bangs, 33-12. Then they lost to Hamilton, Junction, Peaster, and Comanche, a couple of teams that we've seen and that we're familiar with. Defensively, they haven't been doing as well as most early teams have been doing in the past. But offensively, they can strike at you because they've got some talent. Quarterback Weston Barton is a 1,000-yard passer already on the season, and he's got a 700-yard receiver in Andrew Reddy. He's a sophomore. That's number 4. And they average about 5.6 on the rushing game. So this is a team that if they come in and they screw that helmet on extra tight and they have a little bit of determination on it, they could jump up on us.
Yeah, no, part of the, you look at their record and sometimes Bill Parcells is correct when he said you are what your record is, but at the same time, there's a lot of times you're not, and they're a very talented team, and they played a very tough schedule. You look at all those teams that they played, and all of them have winning records and are having great success as well. You can when you start district, so you're back to 0-0. So our that's our record. And we talked about to our team this week. Our goal is to be 1-0 after Friday. When we start district play. But no, it starts like you talk about offensively. Number 4, he probably leads. If I look at the big country prep, wherever you look at, he's probably if not the top receiver yardage wise, or he's up there. He's a very, very, very good player. They do a good job of moving him around a little bit to get him the ball. So he's definitely a guy that we have great respect for, and that we'll make sure and try to limit to what his damage can. Quarterback senior's got a big arm and big offensive line that can hold up and can create holes for their running back. Defensively, they have a lot of youth in the back end, and that's kind of where they've had some breakdowns, so to speak. But that's another thing too. They're playing a lot of sophomores, and so anytime you play a lot of sophomores early on, you're going to have your bumps and bruises. But they are a very capable team, and we got to be ready to go this Friday.
Absolutely. Early. If they're going to get up for anybody, they're going to get up for Toller, and so that's going to be something that's going to be nice to watch. And of course, it is homecoming. I did want to touch on a few things, Coach. Pep rally is going to be from 8:10 to 8:45 at the gym. Alumni is welcome, and so is the voice of the Toller Rattlers, Mr. David Wood. He will be there this Friday morning and cheering on his Rattlers. That's for sure. There's also going to be a meet and greet at 9 o'clock. That's for student presentations. The superintendent will be there. There's going to be some festivities there. Volleyball games. There's going to be 3 games. Varsity versus Breckenridge. JV Purple will be at 5:30. The varsity is at 4:30 in the main gym, and the auxiliary gym at 5:30 will be the JV White. So the volleyball team really, really getting after it, doing some really good things this season. And it's really cool that we've got 3 high school teams, 2 JVs and a varsity squad. We have not, in the past, Coach, we have not had those numbers. And that just shows to success in the program and interest in these athletics. It's really good. And of course, the big thing is going to happen at 7 o'clock. And that's your Rattlers against the Longhorns. They're also going to have the Homecoming Queens. That'll start at about 6:35. Lots of festivities going on. And sometimes homecoming can be a bit of a distraction, but not for your Rattlers, Coach. They're very disciplined, and I think it's going to be a very special night this Friday night.
Yeah, no, the team this week is 1-0, like I talked about, and yeah, homecoming can bring a lot of fun. But I told our guys, our job is to win the game. Right? There's other people that their job is to make sure the festivities are fun and taking care of the alumni, and we want to put on a show, and our job is to go win a football game. So we've had a good week of practice, and we're about to go outside and have our Wednesday practice, a real big situational / mental practice. So I'm expecting good things there, and we'll put the hays in the barn and go put on a show. Hopefully, a good show Friday evening.
Absolutely. Okay, now, before we get to our report, our junior high and our JV report, we got to ask Coach a question. We always ask Coach a question every week. If y'all been tuning in, Donnie usually has a question that he asks and everything. Donnie is busy at work, I guess, because I do not have a question from him, but I have a Donnie Wood question. By the way, Coach, if you go on to our Sports Scene Facebook page, you'll see what Donnie got me for my birthday. It's very, very expensive gift, and you need to go back and watch that because I got it. Nobody else has it. It's mine. Don't ask me for it, Coach. I know you're going to ask me for it. You can't have it. It's too expensive. He's a knucklehead. I'm just going to preference it that way.
All right, now go look
you know
at
what
it.
I'm saying.
Sure.
You got brothers, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll give a shout out real quick to my brother, Coach Mauser. It's his birthday today, so if y'all see him, it's
his birthday today.
It's his birthday, yeah.
I knew I liked that guy. He must be a Libra.
He's an October birthday. Yep, for sure.
There you go. Now, how old is Coach?
He's 4 years older than me. I'll leave that to him on that one.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, I think that's a 43.
It's just a number, Coach.
Just a number. He's got more gray hair than I do. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, these 30 and 40-year-olds out here, they're all going, man, you're what? Ugh, okay. So, uh, I gotta ask you, Coach. Here's the question. The question is, growing up, there must have been a sports influence. Somebody, professional athlete, or a coach, or somebody that must have been a key figure to you. I mean, basically somebody that you really, really admired athletically. And who would have that be?
Oh, athletically, again, I go back. There's probably two. Um, again, Houston's with a big Bagwell and Biggio guy. So in terms of the Killer Bees growing up, baseball wise, kids these days they get to watch all their sports. But back growing up, the Astros, the only time I get to see them if they play the Cubs on WGN or if they play the Braves on old TBS. Other than that, having to go to games to watch them, or hopefully they'd be on ESPN every once in a while. But I love Bagwell and Biggio, and then the Rockets with Rudy T and Team the Dream. Those guys were big time. My uncle was a big sports guy, so we talked all the time too. But in terms of football, and again, I wore 74 for Bruce Matthews. I know it's kind of weird. I'm an old lineman at heart, so I
No,
love
that's good.
the old Titans and the old Oilers and going from there. But coaching influence wise, my coach Danny Rogers was our defensive coordinator. So we came to Blanco. We moved to Blanco in '92. He became the defensive coordinator in '94, and then I guess then we won state my sophomore year. But one thing in middle school. Yeah, I started as a chain kid to water boy to ball boy, and then middle school he handed me a clipboard and he was like, "Hey, I need you to chart some things." So he was a big influence on watching the game and learning how to see different things in the game. And then he was our defensive coordinator and really good motivator. And then after my sophomore year, he got promoted to our head coach, and then he was at the head coach at Blanco for a long time. So Coach Rogers, huge influence. But really, the head coach after for him, Coach Brian Emerson. He in terms of offensive mind, on terms of the schemes and just smart, being professional. I always looked up for Coach Emerson as well, and his daughter was my age, and so I got to know Coach Emerson. Of course, we won state, and he was able to professionally understand why he was able to move up to a bigger school and take care of his family. So I was very blessed with coaches in my life that were that influenced me.
Well, I'll tell you what, the knucklehead did make an appearance, Coach. He is watching, and he's got a question for you. He said, question of the day, and it's an easy one: Texas or OU?
Well, the Aggie in me says it's a tie. I guess I don't know, but no. In terms of everything on that one, I'm a big fan. Just I think Coach Sarkisian does a great job offensively, and really his office coordinator. I got to know Coach Flood a little bit when he was recruiting some linemen back when I was at my old school. I had a couple of offensive linemen that were pretty dang good, and they got recruited by him. And just he treated me really, really well. Didn't big dog me, nothing like that. We talked a lot, and I got to learn a lot. He does a really, really good job with the offensive line. One thing that Texas doesn't get near enough credit for. If you watch the O-line and how good they've gotten in the past few years under Coach Flood's tutelage, and of course Coach Sarkisian's schemes are great too. But Texas, I won't say I cheer for Texas. I think Texas it wouldn't be
Yeah,
if they win
there,
two
there you
plus
go.
years. So
So you picked the other Texas team. You're taking Texas, not OU,
correct.
because
Yeah. No.
they're both Texas teams anyway.
I Oklahoma. I don't know that
Yeah.
Boomer
Hey,
Sooner might be the most annoying song ever. So I don't relate too
it
much on that one.
it is. It is the most annoying song. Oh no, look at here. We got people chiming in. Easy one, OU baby.
It's
Okay, yeah. All right, Miss Carol. I like Miss Carol. What's wrong with her? So here we go. Junior high and high school JV report. Now, Coach, these guys, you got to be really licking your chops to get some of these guys up on your varsity before too long. There's a lot of athletes there on the JV and on that junior high team.
Yeah, no, I mean with 19 seniors, we're going to have to be replacing with a lot, and that's where we'll be replacing from our sub varsity. So I'm proud of our sub varsities. We split our JV into two teams, and so we had teams of about 18 and 19. So kids were having to play almost every single down, and that's we're playing a bunch of 3A Division One schools that have a little maybe a hair more enrollment, and so they're able to have a few more kids. But being this one of the smallest 3A Division Two schools, I'm super proud of our JV teams. And now that we're in district play and just with junior high games going on, it was really tough to kind of schedule. So we went back to one JV team. So I'm excited to watch that this Thursday. They'll be traveling early, so I'll have to watch it on film. But just throughout these last 5 weeks of how those teams gel and be able to play, maybe with the hair more rest, so maybe play a little faster throughout the whole game. But there's definitely some special athletes and some kids that are playing extremely hard that I'm excited for. Down in the junior high, man, it's to be in a place where you have junior high practice, you don't have to worry about kids not being, there's not a single worry about kids not being there. And so every morning at 6:15, they're rolling in, and we have 31 strong eighth graders and 29 now 38 seventh graders. So you're talking about 60 kids, and appreciate the parents making sure that they're on time and they're practicing extremely hard. Our coaches are working them hard, and there's no doubt we're getting better. And there's plenty of talent coming up, and that's talent in numbers usually equals out to good things in future years. So now that's our job to get them in the weight room, and parents feed them so we can get them bigger, and the sky's the limit for those teams.
I got to tell you, Coach, this week, the off week, I got to travel to Tennessee and went up there to see my daughter and my grandkids and my grandson, who is a sixth grader. And in Tennessee, they play the sixth, seventh, and eighth graders together, okay, on one team. And he's the only sixth grader that's playing on the varsity, what they call the varsity, which is the top team for the junior high. And he starts both ways, offense, defense. He's kicker. He's on the kickoff teams. This kid is the smallest kid on the team, but man, when you watch him play, he makes the old chest swell up a lot because he is something special. I'm trying to get him in, of course, with him, and then the best Owens kid that you'll ever coach is coming up, Coach. That's Ty.
That's
Ty
it.
Owens. Write that name down. He's going to be a stud, and I've got his NIL deal, so just get ready, okay?
All right, yeah. No, I have a special place for the younger brothers, so absolutely, I'm looking forward to coaching Ty at the high school also.
Well, he's the best Owens boy. I'm going to tell you right now, way better than Brock and Drake. I'm telling you.
Knowing Brock and Drake, though, they might take a little offense. That now you're fighting words. There might be the Owens parents might be wondering what's going on at the house tonight.
No, just ask his mama. His mama will tell you that Ty's
There you go. All right, good. Okay. Well, I know Ty's a great kid too, and as a little brother, I don't ever want to compare to anything like that and all that. But if he's anywhere near to Drake and Brock, and he definitely has that possibility, it's going to be a good thing for Toller.
There you go. There you go. All right. So I want to mention before we get out of here, Coach, that we need a big crowd this weekend, this week for the homecoming game. There's going to be a lot of alumni coming back, and we want to show them some love. We also want to support this team as we go back into 3A, and we want to run another perfect district season. We've been perfect the last couple of years in district, and we want to do it again this year and go strong into the playoffs. So support these teams. If you can't be in the stands, you can always be on the sports scene now. We're also on Huddle, and Huddle is where you want to be for our home games, folks, or you will not see the live action on, because we're going to be doing the audio on the sports scene. We'll also have the audio on Huddle, and we've got all that worked out, and everything will be great. Look at here. He's even got fans, Coach. Look at there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at there. Okay. So Huddle, you've got to subscribe to both of these channels, folks. We've got the YouTube page, the sports scene with the Wood Brothers, but you also have to subscribe to this Huddle channel. And not only will you get the varsity programs, but you'll get the sub-varsity and some of these junior high games as well. Is that right, Coach? The home junior high games?
Yeah, and it's not just football. It's also if you get a monthly or yearly pass, that includes any game that's played in the main gym. So if you're the JV purple volleyball, varsity volleyball, and then we get into basketball as well, junior high as well. As long as the game's played in the main gym, it's the recordings are ready to go. And so junior high games will have both recordings on the Huddle app as well. And those are again, you can do the price of basically coming to the game is what is the charge, or you can get the monthly or yearly pass that covers all sports and all games at home.
And more importantly, all this money, somebody said, well, it's just, we got to pay to get it. We don't want it paid. Listen, all this money goes into the program, folks. Yep. It goes to the Booster Club, who supports, and man, the Booster Club's done an amazing job the last several years, and they're doing an even better job now. I'm telling you, you want this pass. Plus, the camera is amazing. You get some really good shots. The only thing I don't like about it, Coach, is I didn't get a copy of last home game, and I was a little upset about that.
Well,
I wanted to hear my lovely voice.
We hide the varsity games until after the year because of scouting purposes. So hopefully fans understand that we're, any good coach is going to try to get any type of advantage. So that camera is really good, so you can see a lot of different things on the sidelines and things of that nature. So we will release those photos and put them back out to the public at the end of the year as well. So through
And
that
that'll
same
be covered
app,
on the pass
you can
too, so they can. I want to let everybody know, if you pay for that pass, you can go back into the library and you can pull up those past games. And once Coach releases these games, you'll be able to go back and watch them in the entirety with that lovely audio also on there.
Yep, for sure, absolutely.
There you go. Well, Coach, this has been fun, and I'm really looking forward to Friday night. I got my football Jones in a little bit here. I'm ready to watch some real football, not no Cowboy stuff, and get me some Rattler stuff going.
No, absolutely no. We're fired up. 14 days between games is sometimes it's a blessing to have that bye week, but at the same time, we're ready to kick things off and get back to work and start the district season.
That's right. Well, Coach, I really appreciate your time for today, and sorry about the well, it wasn't my fault, but I'm sorry about the technical difficulties that we had earlier on, but that's just a part of the game. Coach, we'll see you Friday night, folks. We'll see you Friday night. If you can't be in the stands, you can be on the sports scene on Huddle and on Facebook. Not Facebook, but YouTube. And tune in for all the action. And until next week, we'll have another Coaches Show next Wednesday right here on the sports scene.